Start. Good evening. Namaskar to everyone. We are conducting this program through Institute of Skills, West Bengal, and we will use three languages: Bengali, Hindi, and English, according to the necessities of the session. Time duration only 15 minutes. Our subject is opportunity on the knowledge of ERP at the modern business. We'll go little slow, because some points need to be discussed in detail for the beginner, those who are already attending this course. The content of ERP is very, very lengthy, So step by step, we'll cover the subject within a period of time. Every business is trying to get a smart return, Every business in modern age, they are trying to get some smart return on their investment at the present scenario. The business is more disciplined now if you compare with the past history and past everything, regarding their activity, regarding their, satisfied to the customer, to the supplier, even to the employee. So now, major section of the business, including MSME, they are very much concerned about the implementation of ERP at their field and comply the evidence of or document-based management review process for taking the appropriate decision and action in right time. This is the basic thing, all business entrepreneur, whether it is a startup company or it is going on smoothly, they always try to understand what is the business status at this present moment. That is why ERP is very important tool for all the stakeholders, even employee. It is also a very important thing to understand what is actually the environment of ERP in the business and where they are sitting and how it is working. So they can provide more, accurately all this activity. The ERP system is basically a software system. The main goal of an ERP implementation is to improve the efficiency of company by automating processes, streamlining the workflows, reducing costs, and increasing the productivity. So every point is important for a business, for a running concern, for a going concern, and the goal has to be achieved by a team inclusive of employee, employer, even supplier, and also the customer. This is the total team, and also society members. They are making a team and going for a very good result for the company itself. So why the ERP is requiring by the enterprises? Now the critically or complexity in business end-to-end process have been increasing. If you see the past and the present and anticipating future, everything is getting the complication of the process itself. I will be coming, in a last para, when I will be discussing about the total end-to-end process, procurement to pay, and order to cash, inclusive of, the accounting standard revenue recognition, and the basic important thing is record to report. In modern days, whether we are going for the report, maximum report is making from the report, not from the record. So if it is from the record, then its authenticity is very trusted, and all people can believe that this is the whatever may be the result came, that is actually true and as per the real time situation. So the next point, which is basically insist us to make the ERP environment in a business organization, that is the rigid deadline of statutory compliance. The all compliance, statutory compliance, whether it is central government or the state government implied that the deadline is very, very critical for us, for the business, and that is why all entrepreneur, they are basically try to put the ERP for meeting the deadline, because if we do not meet the deadline for the compliances, then financial impact in business based on the late fees, penalties, and on inaccurate ITC, input tax credit utilization, and other business compliances. So compliance is the very, very strict principle for all the company, and all the entrepreneur, all the stakeholders, they are basically interested to just follow the deadline for the compliances. Very close competition of product, mainly product pricing. Even if you see the modern market, there is a 1 paisa difference between the two company. The two companies doing the fighting and trying to reduce the cost to make the breach of the profit more what they are doing now. So very close competition of product pricing by controlling machine hour rate, because manufacturing company, in case of trade, they are just getting the overhead cost above the purchase price. But in case of any manufacturing company, they are controlling the total cost through the machine hour rate, direct and indirect labor hour rate, and direct indirect kilowatt hour rate on power. Cost savings through identification of non-value added activities and implementation of lean method. Present scenario, if you follow the ERP system, any software system, then cost savings is the practical thing which we can implement in the business itself through the process purification, through the process verification, and the non-value added activity identification, and kill the non-added value activities. Critical status of investment through loan capital, because every company they are basically doing their business by taking the loan from either shareholders or stakeholders, or from bank or any financial institution or government. So they are very much committed to repay the EMI, or interest burden is very critical, very tough, and getting their risk high and high. Facing difficulties for making production plan. Nowadays, the criticality or complexity of the business process, there is much complication is coming for the making production plan without MRP. MRP means material requisition planning. So if MRP is not there, so they cannot make the product in time, and they cannot give the product to the any customer in time. So that is why they are asking for the ERP. ERP is basically enterprise resource planning, and that is a software. And if you do not know what is actually the software is doing, and what is the input and output and total balance for the business, then it is very difficult to understand the process of the business and to give the your expertise to the company. Otherwise it will be the total time loss or productivity loss for the company itself. Automation needs to get accurate quality output and increase the productivity. Internal review, and that is why they are just implementing the ERP. Only because of this, they are not only the reason of profit making, they are also the better control for the company. They are also using the ERP, enterprise resource planning. Automation needs to get accurate quality output and increase the productivity, whether it is record to report or whether it is any product. If you feel that the automation will be definitely give you the more accuracy level, and quality product will be assured, and the productivity also to be increased. Here the definition of productivity is something different. Here the productivity doesn't mean a group of people or a gang of people, they are making the product 10 product in 10 hours. But here productivity means they will be producing 10 product of 8 people. The gang would be reduced by 2, and that is why the tangible productivity can be achieved. Internal review of more investment or improvement in process. Every stakeholder, they want to understand what is the present status of the business, so they can go for the more investment, they can go for the more return, they can go for the any diversification. And that is why internal review is very much important, and all time the real time record is being helping them to making the decision in the right time. Real time recording system and introduce internal control on every activities related to business. The controlling over human resource management by selecting the best resource from the availability at resource market and controlling through time management activities. So why ERP is being implemented by the stakeholder, and why ERP is basically very much important for the employee itself. So you have to learn all the word, all the puzzle word for the handle the total situation of a business, either a employee or a employer or sundry debtors or creditors, whatever may be. If you take a part of the business itself, if we have the knowledge of ERP, you will be fit yourself to any business environment. So there should be some process for induction, but whether you will be getting into the business itself, you will be understood what is actually happening in here and what process they are following. So basically, enterprise resource planning is a software system that helps run the entire business activity or function wise, and also supporting automation and process in finance, human resources, manufacturing, supply chain, services, requirement, and the procurement also. I'll be discussing some module regarding all these main activities. So ERP is important for a business house because ERP is the single source of truth across the business. I repeat, ERP is important for a business house because ERP is the single source of truth across the business. Expectation from ERP of various operations is also being observing. We have some observations that some expectation of the various people like finance, sales, logistics, accounts payable, management, and last but not the least, bankers and shareholders. They are all expecting something from ERP because they are trusting their data, they are trusting the result, they are taking the decision according to the real data, they are taking the decision and implementing the decision or corrective action according to the real data itself. So finance requires an ERP to quickly close the books. Finance teams, they also require an ERP quickly close the books. Sales needs ERP to manage all customers' order because in case of any business, customer is the main key. So if customer is getting the satisfaction from all these activities, then you will be getting the confidence from your product line, from any recognize of the sales, revenue recognition, etc., etc. Accounts payable needs ERP to pay suppliers correctly and on time. It is also the expectation of the finance department partly because finance departments also take the budget. What would be the payment within 15 days? What would be the payment within 21 days? What would be the payment within a month? And what would be the credit period? So finance department also asking the things from the purchase department. Whenever you will be making the purchase order, you should be very clear about the credit days, number of days of credit. So they can make a plan, they can make the budget, everything would be going on a disciplined manner. So production department also know, purchase department also trying to understand when my supplier will be getting money. So I can move for the next order, I can go for the vendor development, I can go for the further negotiation. So if payment is in right time, so my negotiation would be better and I will be in that place to go for any cost savings for the negotiable price. Management needs instant visibility into the company's performance to make timely decision. That is more important because that people are basically sitting on the top and they are observing all the activities and ultimate the results if given them the taking the corrective action or decision making on change the line or change the even product or change the all the basic activities and even the reshuffle the resource also. And the machine choose also depend upon the results of the ERP. From the ERP, if you get the correct result, you can change your environment, and that is why the employee has to be understood. তাদেরকে জানতে হবে যে আমরা যে এখানে কাজ করছি, আমি যে কাজটা করছি, my output is like that. ERP to be implemented in different industries. जे कोनो इंडस्ट्री বা any इंडस्ट्री में हम लोग कर सकता है कि हम लोग implement कर सकता है. जैसा utilities, wholesalers, manufacturers, service companies and retail. Businesses, every industry from automotive to wholesale distribution need accurate, real-time information and effective business process to complete and thrive. Different industry really on their ERP software for just quite different reason. एक एक इंडस्ट्री एक एक टाइप ऑफ ERP ले सकता है अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर एक्टिविटीज, अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर रिसोर्स, अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर मशीनरीज, अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर नेचर ऑफ कस्टमर, according to their geographical customer product demand. So it is depending on the nature of the business. So you cannot go for the single ERP for all the business. It should be according to the business nature. You can choose the ERP, you can choose the software system. Utilities need to constantly review their capital assets. In case of utilities, need to constantly review their capital assets. They used to constantly review the capital assets not only to meet demand for future services, but also the replacement of aging assets. So he can just reserve some money for the replacing of the assets. And without ERP, the effort to prioritize this major asset investment would be difficult and error prone. If you do not go for this ERP system or automation system or recording system, you cannot prove that the machine can be changed, or the spares can be required. And here, all the capital intensive company, there is a peculiar things, we have been observing, the spare parts, which is actually required for a particular machine, is not in the stock. But the spares is not required, even within 5 years. We are just, make the inventory all the spares, and it is basically the working capital blockage. So ERP will give you the accurate picture ki what inventory you should inventorize and what should be in stock and what should be the maximum level, minimum level, or reordering level. So if you go for the system and if you go for this level system, so you can easily understand that then what would be the time of giving the requisition for the purchase of the spares. For wholesalers, importers, direct stores delivery on time delivery is the key. Whatever may be the business, it is a small business, it is a mid-term business, it is a long business, high volume business. So first of all, actually the delivery time is very, very particular. You have to be. So ERP যখন আমরা यूज़ করব, ERP यूज़ करने का टाइम पे हम लोग को ये सब सिस्टम में डाल देने का अकॉर्डिंग टू द मैनेजमेंट पॉलिसी कि व्हाट वुड बी द डिलीवरी डेट फॉर वेरियस कस्टमर एंड व्हाट शुड बी द अलार्म टाइम टू चेक whether the product is ready or not in case of packaging or not. So now we are just sharing 2 to 3 model like P2P. Normally those who are accustomed with the ERP environment, they know what is P2P. The P2P is procurement to pay. So it is a big process. Starts from procurement and end to the payment to the supplier is total controlling by the ERP system, software system. And then next another model is coming. This is very important. That is the order to cash. When we are generating the order for the customer and through the revenue recognition, and when we will be getting the fund from the customer itself, it will be basically strengthen our budgetary control and the cash flow, fund flow system. And the next is the record to report. I just touched this point, record to report. That is very important, record to report. Record to report, basically, if you see the manufacturing company, I am talking about manufacturing company because there are critical process in the manufacturing company like, scrap generation, like idle hours, like machine hours, like, even hourly rate of the manpower. So if we go for the ERP system and put some, data on day-to-day basis, real-time basis, we will get the scrap percentage and take the control immediately, not at the month end. I am so sorry. Maximum company, what they are doing at the month end, their statutory report is scrap accounting. Their statutory report is, what is sales. Their statutory reports and what is the GST input output. So it should be like, some entrepreneur, they are liking to put all this thing online. Okay, so I should know next day morning what would be the scrap percentage or scrap product produced in my factory, and what would be the wastage of money, and what wastage of the manpower, wastage of the power. So that is why ERP system, some entrepreneurs, they are very much interested about to put the ERP system in a manufacturing company. This I am just going for some module like finance. The finance and accounting module is the backbone of most ERP system. I am always taking this opportunity to tell that the finance team is a very much lucky, because they are the basically the goalkeeper or wicket keeper in a cricket or football to just a game, because everything will be done by various department. Say materials is coming, so GRN or whatever maybe, the record would be keeping by the material department. Purchase, they will be going for the requisition of purchase, they will be making the purchase order, and they will be collecting this thing, all the negotiation process. So everything is coming at the end of the day to the finance department. So finance and accounting model is the backbone of the most ERP system, because they are the final assemble, those who are giving the record or report to the management itself, or they are giving to the government authority, they are giving it to the auditors, and they are declaring the result according to the data entered in the system itself. So ERP system, if you know the ERP system and if you know your job, what would be the basically what would be the job profile you are having. So if you understand this is the end result is the management will be taking the decision, the management will be taking the corrective action. I am just giving one example. In a shop floor, there are 5 machines. One machine is giving the defective product. So if you not catch this defective product in the system itself or enter the data in the system itself, so tomorrow next day morning management cannot take the decision this machine has to be repaired, or the spares has to be changed, or just inform to the maintenance department what has to be done, because machine is giving us the defective product. So this is the very important thing and backbone of the finance team. They are also the giving the feedback to the management, but it is a lengthy and it is a long time process. If I get this result today itself or in any 30 or 31st day of a month, so I am giving result after 7 days, after 10 days to the management. This is my sales, this is my profit, this is my balance sheet, this is my reserve, this is my loan. So within time, 10 days is, in the competition market, 10 days is, basically 10 years time duration. So if it is online, next day morning, if I give some trial balance, if I give the sales figure, if I give the production figure, if I give the, inventory figure to the management itself or the owners means not, owner of the business, owner means owners of the process. If I give the result to the owners of the process, then they will be taking the decision, very fast. Today is one thing is important. One is accuracy and other thing is speed. So speed and accuracy, if it is simultaneously balance the business, so every business will be giving minimum 5 to 10% extra profit what they are earning today. So what is our responsibility? Our responsibility, we have to learn. If I do not enter this thing, and maximum employees doing this thing, they do not know what is actually the tomorrow morning what would be actually report would be happen and where it will be go, then he cannot enter this data to the system itself. He will be thinking tomorrow morning I will be coming and I will be finish my job according to the schedule. But it is not important nowadays. Nowadays employee should enter. We should enter the things in a real time. And next day morning, definitely, the time is too late to take the decision, because they are a shifting manager. We can inform them it is happening there in the shop floor itself. In addition to managing the general ledger and automating key financial tasks, it helps business track accounts payable, accounts receivable, and close the books efficiently. This close the books efficiently is very much important. If you get the the material, the purchase material on 30 or 31st at the time of 12 o'clock midnight, and if you entered in the 5th or 6th, your inventory position is not showing the correct figure. So as an employee, what I'll be thinking, I am thinking my inventory shows wrong. If it will not happen, but if I if there is catching some fire, so you will not get even insurance properly. So try to understand what is the importance of ERP and why we have to be learn the ERP, the enterprise resource planning, because in 31st night I have taken the material costing is 1 crore, and I have taken this thing and keeping it in a storage location called raw material storage location, and this night something has been happened, either on fire or burglary or whatever maybe. So you will not get any insurance, management will be suffer. So management is trying to give some transformation system, give some knowledge to the people, okay, please enter this thing in real time, so I will be getting the insurance claim if I get the actual figure of inventory. So inventory management is a very important thing for ERP, and those who are just now beginner, now they are learning abhi ekhon apnara jara jante pacchen ERP, those who are getting into touch with the system which has to be followed by every stakeholders, every customer, every supplier, they are also having their software, they are also having their feedback system. So it is very important ki what is your role and how it is important to the bottom line, means I am talking about the financial results. So in this case, human resource management, that is also the most ERP include in HR model that provides core capabilities such as time and attendance and payroll. Now the main thing is payroll. If you go for the payroll system through ERP, why management is asking for the ERP? Only because of this, and why they are asking interview level, what is the the basic data you are feeding in the payroll system. So you have to be learn the ERP, and management has to be calculate on that basis what is the basically overtime rate and what is the basically overtime hours, and then drill down analytical issues, why overtime has been given. We have already crossed the capacity level, so we have to increase the capacity. So then we have to invest something, or we have to take a reward, those who can work like a people, those who can work like a human being. So everything, you can go for the analytical mode, and you can give the corrective action, take the corrective action within a 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and you can implement. So that is why also ERP is most important for the stakeholders, even for the employee. I am entering the factory, I am entering into the office, I didn't punch my card. I don't know what is actually happened. At the end of the 38 or 31st, the salary will be not making, because there is some absenteeism is there. Again, that would be going to the HR department and analyze whether he has crossed the total actual leave. So everything, again rounding, and it will be taking late. And after the deadline, people will be managed. This word is very important for ERP. People will be manage the situation to just continue the business, to pay the salary in time, but it is being managed. It is being not as per the actual data. Overtime is basically, how I am booking overtime in the system. Why we will be booking overtime into the system? Because we can take more corrective actions, more investment, we can take the investment decision. We can go for the loan. We can go for very other, financial sources. So it is very important to ERP, and if you people, তোমাদের ভাই ERP-টা তো জানতে হবে, এবং if you know about ERP, then you will be very serious about your work. This is the main important thing we want to share with the people. If you know what is ERP, if you know that where I'm working, that is basically ERP environment, then it is definitely you will be very serious about that, and business will be going for, their according to their aim, according to their objective, and according to the return, whatever may be the investment, whether manpower investment, whether money investment, whether machines, in terms of machine investment, and they will be getting the appropriate result. Sales. The sales model keeps track of communication with prospects and customers and helps use data-driven insights to increase sales and target leads with the right proportions and upsell opportunities. If you do the sales and if you enter all the mandatory field, then you can find out in the geographical area which location is taking my product and which location is not taking the product according to my expectations. When I have made the budget, I thought that the Kolkata will be taking all the product. So that is why my sales is 500 crore. But actually, if I put all the data through ERP system, I can go for each and every day, what is the controlling system of sales, and Kolkata is now at the rate, 400, 450, there is 50,000 products short. So that is why, if you go for the sales ERP, you can understand the geographical drawback of the product, and you can put your full force of sales to that area where we are weak. So now manufacturing, I am telling you, the manufacturing model is very complicated model, and if you know about the manufacturing process, you have to learn the ERP, what ERP is giving you and what data has to be entered in the field itself, and the logistics, supply chain, and this all things will be discussed later. But today's scenario, we are just taking the basic things, what is actually ERP, and what is the total scenario of ERP in a business model, and what actually our role to understand the ERP and some comfort to the business stakeholder itself. So that is why all stakeholders, they are basically very much interested to talk to the people, those who knows the ERP, and whenever he is talking about the total controlling system, people can understand. So today, I think it is over from our side. So again, we will be coming. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time. Thank you.